Hey there, how you doing? It's Chris, your friendly neighborhood internet Sherpa, back again with another one of those tips on how to bring bodies through the door, put cheeks in the seats, and of course, build your list. Today, I'm going to hit you with one of those tips that comes up when I've got something to tell one of my clients, and I realize I'm going to have to say it over and over again, so it's easier for me to just make a video and then share all this goodness with the world. So here we are. So what we're going to talk about today is signing up for a Google Workspace account. There's a bunch of goodness in a Google Workspace account. There's a bunch of different reasons why you might want to, but the reason that I'm making this video today is I want to recommend to one of my clients to make sure that you have the same domain name for their email address as they do for the website. It's just a good look, and it gives future clients / collaborators one less thing to mentally trip over on their way to deciding whether or not they want to work with you. For some people, that's not a big thing, but when we're talking straight professionalism, kind of is. So if that's a thing for you and something you want to jump on, then I recommend doing it this way. Are there other solutions? There absolutely are. So for instance, you could go to, let's say, GoDaddy and sign up for an email account through them. Well, the only thing that I don't like about doing it that way is most people I know already have a Gmail account. And if you do Google Workspace, you're not learning any new systems. What you're doing is the exact same system. As a matter of fact, the only difference is instead of signing in with whatever at gmail.com, you will now be signing in with whatever at yourdomainname.com. So after you jump on the inside, it looks exactly the same. So there's a lot of goodness in that. It's not the only solution, but it's the one I recommend. And also because you got a Google business profile, so you got a Gmail account. So I'm going to roll the dice on that. However, even if you don't and you still want to have this solution, you can just have emails forwarded from anything sent to that email address over to the email address that you use on a regular basis anyway. There's a lot of goodness there, a lot of workarounds. So the reason not to do it, it's not that many. Anyway, let's jump into how to actually sign up for this bad boy and then point out a couple of things along the way to make sure you don't get tripped up. Oh, one last thing. There is a little bit of geekery at the end of this that may slow down regular folks. I mean, if you bought your own website, you built your own website and all that good stuff, chances are you got a little bit of geek skills. But if you don't and you don't have a geek on standby, stick around to the end of the video. I'll hit you with a solution that I think will get you from where you're standing to where you're trying to go. There's a lot of goodness to go around, and I don't want you to miss out on it no matter how we do this. All right, so let's get started. First thing you do, go to workspace.google.com and then click the Get Started button. Click that, and then it's going to ask you a series of small questions. First off, what's the name of your business? How many people work with you? And then, of course, what's the region? Because you could be working in a lot of different places if you're hanging with Google. But in this particular case, we're talking about the United States. Click Next, and then it's going to ask you for your contact information. What is your current email address? The one where you currently get emails to, because they might have to send, or they're going to send you a couple of confirmations to make sure that you are the right person, because they still have to be able to get a hold of you until the new account gets set up. All right, then let's hit Next. And then from there, we come to a very important page. Some people already have a Gmail account and they want to stick with that, but they want the goodness of Google Workspace. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about having a having an email address with the same domain name, and that's this one over here. If you click this, this is like all that really cool stuff I told you. That's other reasons for having it, but the main brain that we're doing right now is making sure that your domain name and your email address match. So you go ahead and click this one right here, and it's going to ask, do you have one you can use, or do you need one? Now, if I'm working with you and recommending this to you, then we've already picked up a domain name, or we're already going like that. So we're going to say, yes, I have one that I can use. In this case, I'm going to use an old email of mine or an old domain of mine, ihelpsalons.com. Click Next, and it's going to ask you to verify that that's the one you want to use. Please check the spelling, because that can be annoying. And then after that, one other thing. After that, you're going to hit Next. But here, this is one should not apply to anybody watching this video, because this is saying that if you currently have emails going to blah, blah, blah at ihelpsalons.com, they'll still go there until you finish setting this up. But the whole purpose of this video is you're not using one of those. You're using Gmail, you're using Hotmail, you're using Outlook or something like that, and you're trying to get those things tightened up. So that shouldn't apply to anybody watching this video. However, if it is, and you're just switching over to Google Workspace and you're just trying to figure that out, please, before you do this, back up your information and download all your old emails before you do this, because once you do this, Once you finish the geekery at the end, all your emails going to start coming over to Gmail, going through Gmail, and your other one's not going to work. You won't be able to send an email over there, so you want to avoid all that. All right, so go ahead and click next, and now we're going to do this part right there, how you'll sign in. Okay, well, I'm going to obscure the screen just a little bit because we're nice. We ain't nice like that. So let's see. We'll say, and as you can see, this is the email address we're talking about. So let's say, do it simple, info@ihelpsalons.com. All right, and let's see, I am not a robot, as far as you know. Click that, agree, and continue. All right, so now it's going through all the, okay, info@ihelpsalons, think about it, and then boom, it's gonna hit me with a lot of geek code, so stand by. All right, continue to admin console, hit next. Hit next. Okay. Every now and then, Google, like I said, they're big into security. They're nosy, but they're big into security. So every so often, you'll run into stuff like this. So you're going to have to do this kind of stuff. Provide a phone number that they can use. So let's see. Used it too many times. All right, let's use a different one. Let's try that. Boom, boom, boom. All right, enter the verification code. All right. Okay. 3, 6, 4, 2. Oops. There we go. Verify. Lots of small words that say don't mess around. Got it. Hit on I understand. And now, oh, the pretty graphics. Now, here's something that's very important. We recommend, of course you recommend, but that's way too much for what we need. And if you'll notice, nowhere in here do they give you an option of doing anything else. The plan that you want is only $7.20 a month. It used to be $6 a month, but they upped it because they're Google. I'm not going to say they're greedy, but until greedy shows up, they'll do. All right, so you're going to have to go ahead and try a free trial and sign up to get it going. I'll show you how to change that before we're done here. Okay, account type, business, got it. Hunky-dory peachy keen. Now, the cool thing about this is when you sign up, you have a 14-day free trial. And that 14-day free trial is very important because we need to change some billing information right after this. And if you had to pay that money right off the bat, it would automatically pull that money out of your account, and that'd be annoying. So we have a couple of days to get this right. So let me show you how to do it. First off, agree and continue. All right. Review and check out by clicking agree, blah, blah, blah. Got it. Welcome to the admin console. Click next. We're glad you're here. Well, I'm glad you're glad I'm here. Protect your domain. Once we verify ownership, haha, there we go. All right, so you'll click next. We'll guide you step by step and finish. Okay. Show that you own this domain name. Protect. Make sure no one else can. Got it. I'm ready to protect my domain name. Hope you don't mind me flying through this stuff. It's a little bit annoying. Okay. Now, one of the things it did was check to make sure where that domain name was associated. That's why with me, I've got it in Namecheap. So they're doing this thing right here. So this is where the geekery part starts. So if you've got a geek on standby, this is the part where you go, hey, psst, come on in. So the first thing they want you to do is they're going to give you, let's see, they want you to go over, they want you to do what I'm about to do. So watch this. Sign into your Namecheap account. If you don't have Namecheap, you should have Namecheap, but they're going to send you someplace else. Okay, we're already in there. Okay, what did you want me to do here? Oh, got it. Let's go to that next step. All right, there it is. All right, so step one, they want you to go over to your Namecheap account, get into your domain name, and get to where you can add code. So this is the code that you need to put in there. All right, so the first thing, and it's a TXT file. Sometimes reading this stuff can be a kind of a pain, but here it is. Go to your domain, go to Namecheap or whoever you happen to have, and then go to your list of domains. See my dashboard right quick. Come down to view all domains, come down to where that's at right here. And this is the domain name that we're playing with. So come over here, hit manage, and then hit advanced DNS. Like I said, geek stuff. Once you get right here, what they want you to do is add a new record. Okay, and it's gonna be a TXT record. Hope you don't mind me going fast like this, because if you know, you know. If you don't, get a friend. All right. And then what they want is to take this, copy, and put it in here. So that goes there. This goes here. Hit like that. And now we get to play the internet game, because once you do that, it's got to take a little bit for, what do you call it, for the internet to catch on. So let's hit protect domain and see if it catches on that I've already done that. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's not. All right, every now and then you get a little something like this. That's not a bad thing. The internet can be annoying sometimes because it's not instant. So basically what has to happen is the good folks over here at Namecheap, they've got to, let's make sure. The good folks over at Namecheap, they've got to do all their stuff. The internet takes a little bit for where the information is to all get connected up. But if it doesn't, you give it about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you go back and you simply try again. Just make sure all your information is correct. Google site verification, OE, la-da-da. Come back here, Google site verification, OE, la-da-da. All right, cool beans. And then we do it one more time. And yeah, you can come back later and check. So I'll start this up after I've gotten through this next part. We're back. All right, so this is what it looks like when it says, oh, you're good to go. Feels good to be, validated by the internet? Okay. All right, so it says, great job, iHelp Salons is protected, meaning that Google can see it. That's the bottom line. Are you a team of one? Are you a team of many? We'll add existing business email addresses. Okay, what this is all about is them trying to dig a little deeper into your pockets. If you're working with me, chances are you're an army of one. In other words, you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, and all that other good stuff. I'll show you what they're trying to do on this one, because each user in a Google Workspace account is another charge. So let's just start off by saying you're just one person. You're going to keep it like that. If you decide to add more people, that'll make sense. If you simply need more email addresses, that's another conversation. Again, something I'll show you here in a second. All right, let's hit continue. All right, welcome to the setup. Create new users. Remember, there's only going to be one user the way we set it up. All right, create. Add your team's email. Add up to 10 users during the free 14-day Google Workspace trial. Now, when they say add up to 10 users, understand that would be 10 times that $21 that they talked about. Although that $21 is actually going to be $7.20. The bottom line is, this is a marketing ploy. They're saying what they're saying, but there's a reason why they're being a little less than disingenuous. So I want to make sure you're smart about what you're doing here. All right, and then you can create free aliases. Now that's a good one that I'm going to talk about in a second. Hit continue. This is me, Christopher Carter, info at iHelp Salons. I am not going to add another user, so I'm going to hit continue. Cool, cool, cool. All right, create new users. Why did you just tell me to do that? I don't want to do that, so I'm going to skip. All right, activate Gmail for iHelp Salons. Activate. Here's where we start the next round of geekery. All right, I am ready to activate. So if you remember this, they're telling you to go to the back side of this place over here is what they're trying to tell you to do. So Let's come back over here, go to step 2, add your MX records. Now the MX records, that's the internet's version of the geekery that tells email where to go. That's all you really need to know about that. It's a few lines of code. All right. So, I forgot. That's right. Namecheap is a little smarter than most because it knows about Google Workspace. Instead of it giving you a ton of code, which if you had other accounts, they might have to give you a bunch of code. Namecheap, which is another reason why I like Namecheap, makes it very simple. You just have to say, I'm using Google Workspace. So activate that. All right. So basically what they just said, let's go back so you can see it. It says scroll to the mail settings, type in Gmail, and hit save changes. So you come down here to the mail settings. Mail settings. Right now I got it set to forward. Let's go to Gmail, save changes. Boom, shakalaka. And then we come back over here, activate Gmail, follow troubleshooting to correct any issues. So now it's looking around. All right, that was a lot of running around, but boom, we're good to go. All right, now let's hit finish. And we're done because I'm not adding any more of these people, so skip for now. All right, let's see. All right, so let's see. Now we're here. Verify your domain, did that, set up, communication, things to set up, collaboration, communication, safer with Google. Got it. Set up billing. Let's try that because that's something we're talking about. All right, so you see right here where it says Google Workspace Business Plus. That's not what we want. What we want, add or update. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I guess that'll work. Let's see, we want standard. This one right down here, business standard, downgrade. And it's going to tell me why I really don't want to do that. Doesn't matter, I do want to do that. All right, because it's brand spanking new, none of this applies because there's no information in here that is going to be affected because it's a brand spanking new account. So here's some things you lose, but instead of having 5 terabytes of data, which is a lot of data, I only have 30 gigs. Wham, if I need to upgrade, I'll upgrade later. Okay, all this other cool stuff. This is basically a page of, please don't change it, we really want to charge you $21 and some change a month, as opposed to, and it said 6, and it's not really 6, it's $7.20. Let's see if we can figure that out. There it is. All right. If you paid for it all at one time, then it would be 6. But since you're paying for it on a month to month, I'm assuming you're paying on a month to month, it's actually $7.20. So there you have it. All right, hit checkout. And now it's going to come to the part where you have to put some money in. Okay, so hit place order. And we've already did the part with the cash because they wouldn't let you get here unless you did that. So thanks for your purchase. Cool. So now, instead of worrying about 21 something a month, it's now $7.20. Boom. Now, let's talk about those email addresses because the very last thing that we want to make sure. So chances are you may want to have more than one email address. So instead, click this over here. Let's go to users. And then let's click on the only user we have, which would be Little Moi. There it is. Add alternate emails. All right. So here you can have up to 30 alternate emails. All go to the exact same spot. Don't know why you would, but maybe at some point in the future you want to have separate, but right now you want to have separate accounts, but right now you want to set it up so that you establish those separate accounts and then you can assign them to people later. This is where you would do that. So for instance, instead of just having info at ihelpsalons.com, I can have, let's say, CMC at ihelpsalons, and then you can do it like that. All right, so all these are alternates. They're still going to go to the same inbox, but you just now have the ability to have more than one. Cool. Now, that's pretty much it. That's how you get the whole thing set up. That's how you change the billing so you're not being charged more than 21 bucks. You get charged $7.20 because you shouldn't have to pay more than that just for email. And then after that, you do all this cool stuff in here. Like I said, if you happen to have a geek on retainer, holler at them to get this stuff done. If you can follow through this video and you think it'll get you there, cool. But if you don't have either of those solutions, then just send me an email, info@chriscarter.net, and we'll collaborate. It'll be less than $10 for me to set this whole thing up for you. You just have to give me your information for whichever account you have. If you have a Namecheap account, you can actually give me access to do the things I need to do without me actually getting into your account. So that way you don't have to worry about me getting in there and playing with the digits that you don't want me playing with. So it's kind of cool. All right, so I think that'll do it. And as always, if you need anything, you need any questions or anything, holla at your boy. I'll get you from where you're standing, from where you're trying to go. Talk to you later. Go forth and do great things.